David Smith here with another Flipped Classroom math video. Today's topic, algebraic products. Let's get started. So this lesson covers the rules we use to do multiplication with algebra, and it gives us formats for algebraic terms and expressions. Okay, so a couple rules. We leave out the times sign. This is times, not x. Okay, so the example for this would be, I could write A times B, right? However, we just write that AB. The multiplication is assumed. Another way that we would do this is if you wrote A dot B, which is another way to say A times B, this also ends up just being AB. Okay? So we drop the times sign. That's our first rule. Second one is write the numbers first. So if I had A times 2 times B, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first drop my times sign, and I'm also going to put my number first. So this is going to end up being 2AB. Third one is letters go in alphabetical order. Okay? So if I did 3 times Q times A, that would end up being 3AQ, like that, okay? So to summarize, leave out your times sign, put your numbers first, they go in front, and finally put your letters in alphabetical order. One more idea, or one more piece of vocabulary. The number is called the coefficient. Okay? So I'm going to give you some steps to simplify these terms according to those rules. Okay? So this would be steps to find products. These steps will help you get into the process that we do, but once you've learned them, you won't even think of the steps. You'll just know what to do, just like you know how to speak English. In fact, this is kind of like the language of math. Okay, so here's our question. What is minus 3x times 2x squared? So step 1. Find product of the signs, which are the plus and the minus, okay? So the product of the signs, I've got a minus times, there's a plus there. So I've got minus times plus, and of course when you have a negative times a positive, your product of the signs would be negative. Okay? Second step. Find product of numbers. Okay? So in this case, we've got a 3 times a 2. 3 times 2, what do we get? 6. Okay? So that's the product of our numbers. 3. Find product of variables. So in our variables, we've got x times x squared. So that's x times x squared. So we have x times x times x, because that's x times x. So that's going to give us x cubed. Okay? Now the last step is put it all together. So I have a minus from step 1, I have a 6 from step 2, and I have an x cubed from step 3. Bam. So 4 steps to evaluate this little operation that they want you to do in mathematics. So minus 3x times 2x squared, going through all these steps, winds you up with 6x cubed. Now, like I said before, once you incorporate this and you know how to do it, you're not going to need to do all these steps. You're just going to be able to look at this, incorporate what this tells you to do, and you're going to come up with that. Okay? So let's do some examples. Let's try this one. Minus 3x times x squared. Pause the video, give that a try. Okay, so there's a plus and a minus. So the product of the signs, minus times a plus is minus. That's my first one. Multiply the variables. There's a 1 there. So 1 times 3 is 3. I'm sorry, multiply the coefficients, the numbers. So that gives us the minus 3. Now multiply the variables. X times x squared gives me x to the 3rd. Let's try another. Pause the video, give it a shot. Okay, let's see how you did. Multiplying the signs. Negative times a negative is a positive. So I don't write positive, I just leave it out of the equation. Multiply my numbers. 2 times, there's a 1, that's just 2. Multiply my variables. X squared times x, just like above, we have an x to the 3rd. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, this is 3d times negative 3d. Pause the video, give it a shot. Okay, let's see what we got. Positive times a negative is negative. Number times a number, 3 times 3 is 9. And d times d is d squared. Okay, how about another? These are going to be a little more complicated. 2 times 5x plus 3 times 4x. So we're going to use collecting like terms to simplify this down at the end. So go ahead and give it a shot. Pause the video. Okay, let's see how you did. 2 times 5x plus 3 times 4x. So remember from your order of operations, that's your handy-dandy acronym for remembering that. It's parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So we know here we've got addition, but we have 2 multiplications, and that comes before the addition. So we have to do our multiplications first. So we're going to use this trick here with the algebraic products. Multiply the signs. They're both positive, so I don't need to write anything. Multiply the numbers. 2 times 5 is 10. Multiply the variables. There is no variable here, so it's just 10x. Now we do the same over here. I bring my plus down. How about the signs? Product of the signs is just positive, so I don't need to write anything. Product of the numbers is 3 times 4 is 12. And there's no variable there, but there is one there, so I bring that down. Now I can finish this out because I have like terms. I have 10x plus 12x, so this one gives me 22x. Shall we do another one? Sure, why not? Last one. How about 5x times 3x plus 10 times 7x squared. Okay? Pause the video, give it a shot. Okay, let's see how you did. First one, product of the signs, positive, don't need to write anything. Product of the numbers, 3 times 5 is 15. Product of the variables, x times x is x squared. Second set of terms. Product of the signs, it's positive. They're both positive. Don't need to write anything down. Product of the numbers, 10 times 7 is 70. Product of the variables, no x there, but we have an x squared there, so that comes down. Now again, I can combine my like terms. 15x squared plus 70x squared, we get 85x squared. There you have it. I hope you found it useful. Give me a like down below if you feel like that, or subscribe.